Criminals are not born. They are made. They are the product of the same society we are living in. After all arguments, all said and done, the society is bound to accept the responsibility of reforming the criminals, because it is a criminals are product of the same society we are living in. That's also one of the reasons in a democratic country like India has adopted reformative theory of practice in administration of criminal justice. In this reference, the Probation of Offenders Act 1958 is a very significant, marvelous legislation which is designed to reform the first-time offenders, the first-time criminals. A man who is 21 years and less, who is convicted for 7 years and less. As regards to woman who is not convicted for death penalty or for a lifetime imprisonment, can be allowed to walk out in the society, to live free by adopting to self-reformation, to live life like any other citizens of the society. Under probation, the courts are empowered to allow a criminal under the provisions of Probation of Offenders Act 1958 to allow them to go out, to walk out, but on probation. This probation, that is, the court holds the right to recall and reconvict the said offender if he is found of not correcting himself, not reforming himself, or found of involving any further criminal activities. However, once the offender is let out on a self-bond or on a surety or without any considerations, the court is empowered to allow the first-time offender to walk out free with the control of probation. So such a offender who is back into the society would be required to visit the probate officer. That is, it will become the responsibility of the executive department to supervise the offender who is let out by the court to live freely in the society, in order to ensure that the said offender has adopted to the reformative theory, has reformed, and therefore visit the probate officer at a fixed time intervals. So this Probation of Offenders Act 1958 is a classic, marvelous legislation that is so designed to assist, to help, to provide an legal remedy for the first-time offenders to reform. Because once if he is convicted and jailed, a criminal, once a criminal, is always a criminal. That is how the society looks at a criminal. A criminal is an outcast of the society. Even though if the criminal wants to reform himself and has reformed or reforming, even then, if he has fully reformed also, he will be recognized as a criminal. So therefore, this act immensely help the first-time offenders, because the first-time offenders, they are the consequence of situation, emotion, circumstances, economic inability, and the society, the environment they have come from. In all this reference, this legislation exactly fits into help the first time offenders to reform and lead life like a normal citizen in this society.